those hands a clapping for Carol Estes. Carol! Hello. Oh, I love your dress. Thank you. Go get 'em.
I didn't know who the real Carol was. I had just turned 50 years old. In fact, I didn't know that I didn't know who the real Carol was. My husband was an alcohol abuser. His favorite mask was, "I'm sorry." And I think in a sobering head, he always thought the hall pass would play out. He carried a bushel basket of masks. In fact, he carried them around, had to set them down so he could change them up. I remember the "let's embarrass my wife" mask. He said, "Let's go to the Friday Jazz Club." Elbow on the table, passes out in front of his in-laws. But to be safe, he would always have a double protection. So when he'd peel off the embarrassed mask, he would still have the "I'm sorry" mask on for the folks in the morning. My father, in his infinite wisdom, said, "It was a lovely night, with the exception of the company." My husband, humbled probably for the first time, showed me that he probably respected one person, my father. And I had to give my folks credit for keeping the train on the rails for the 16 years before we got married in a chapel down the road. You see, disguises are very tricky. The "I'm home" could just flip in a millisecond to "son of a bitch, I'm leaving, I'm out of here." He would do anything to start an argument, anything to give him a reason to leave. I don't know how many times I went to play-by-play over the triggers, the arguments, and the doors shut behind him. But he just liked to twist the knife a little deeper. He put on the darkest of dark masks and said, "You were never enough for me." Those words hung heavily in the living room the night he decided to purge all and confess it out. I don't know how long the deep-seated guilt was riddling inside of him and how long it took to surface before he decided he had to purge and confess it all. But those words could have been left unspoken. I took my own basket of masks and sorted and took ownership. I found the "it wasn't about me" mask. It was a truth I knew, but had trouble accepting. I had to put his basket away on our 10th wedding anniversary. The mask became too overpowering, and his last breath was taken. It was hard to navigate the mask. I went from "I'm angry" to "I so loved you." "I'm bitter and you're an ass." But I took one step at a time, and grief can be an uphill climb. But in the end, I found myself. There was no more, "I don't know who Carol was. I don't know who the real Carol is." But I found me, and it turns out I'm one crazy cool chick now. So welcome to Carol World, but it's gonna be a bumpy ride.